Okay, so for soloing this fight on Legend, the choice of weapons is kind of up to you, although you should have something that's good at ad clear. So for me, I prefer the Osteostriga SMG or the Wither Horde grenade launcher, but you could use something like a legendary grenade launcher or whatever as well. If you use the mini tool or something with incandescence on it, you could do that as well because that does clear ads pretty well. Now, as far as where you should stand, my recommendation is to stand up in this area here because the enemies can't get up here. Now, things that you have to be careful for are enemies throwing the grenades up here, of course, but also there is, after you get his health down, there are a couple of vandals that spawn up top here, and they do have snipers. So those do a significant amount of damage. So you have to watch out for those. But the actual like general enemies can't get over here and they can't jump up here. Now, once you get his health down, there is a bigger enemy that's going to spawn up here as well. So my recommendation is that you obviously kill that enemy first. You hard focus it once it spawns. And then you can, you know, figure out how you want to take this fight. Obviously, these nades here hurt a lot, the void nades, and you can see that they are chucking them in from a lot of different angles here. So if you're a hunter, then having Worm Husk will definitely help because it'll help you get some health back for sure. And if you're a Titan, then if you have a Void class where you can get shields, and if you're a Warlock, if you have, you know, your Healing Rift on, obviously not your Empowering Rift. Now, you could use a scout rifle if you're using Wither Horde or something like that. Okay, so we see that the enemies spawn here. So this guy's going to spawn up here with us. So we're just going to kill him quickly. It's really, really easy for me because he's void. So we see the suppression. This is the other sniper. So let's kill him first. And we see the suppression guy all the way over here. So let's take out the suppression guy. Now we're just going to run over here and pick up the suppression. This is where the ad clear weapon comes in handy because you can just annihilate all of these enemies pretty easily. Now, you want to make sure before you're going and standing on the points, again, those grenades hurt. Before you're going and standing on the points to shoot with the suppressor, you want to make sure that you take out whatever enemy is on there. So you see that this guy has a purple shield, the chieftain here. We want to take him out, and I already took out the other one over here on this section. So we're just going to take a couple of shots. Then we go to the next section. If the chieftain is here, he can do a pretty significant amount of damage to you pretty quickly. And then we get back up top here, and we do the last one. So once you hit the last one there, you can actually wait before you go through and destroy these mines that are going to be around the area. So one there, one underneath here, and one on the far side. You can destroy a couple of enemies first to give yourself some breathing room. Or if you have the nice, easy ad clear weapon like I do, then you can just push forward and go ahead and get these mines destroyed. Obviously, playing your life. If you take damage, if you need to hide somewhere, you can. Make sure that you have your utility available before you leave the safety of the up top area over there. So we just have the last one in the middle here to take care of. And then I'm going to immediately retreat back up top. Okay, now we're back up top to the safety of this little barricade here. You can destroy some of these little guys if you want so that they don't do so much grenade damage to you. There, right there, that was a void nade, so we have to be really careful of that. And I do have a bunch of heavy bricks on the ground, so I am going to go through and use some heavy here on the boss. Now, you will get frozen if you stay in this for too long, but the DPS kind of outweighs it if you're in a safe position. So you can just chill up there. And now he is directly underneath us, so we're going to rotate over on top of these. And we're going to go ahead and keep shooting him here. Okay, so if you're on top there, like I just was, and you get hit with the ice thing, when you jump off, you actually won't be able to jump anywhere. So a smarter thing to do would be to be up here and just go back out of the ice, and then you could retreat over here to the side if you did need to. You can can see that they are throwing quite a lot of stuff at me here. But he is back in front of us here. So I'm just going to pull out my heavy, because I do have those heavy bricks that I can pick up after I go through and do this next section here. So let's get him down, and then let's get ready to fight the guy that's going to spawn on top of us here. Reload our heavy, get our health back. Don't want to play it too crazy here, because just like you can see, these guys are whipping nades up here like crazy. So when you get a chance, just go ahead and clear them out. I think the boss, okay, so he's in the middle over there. So we can go through and get him down here. We're going to get ready for the spawn on top of us. We take this guy out. Perfect. Now we're going to take out these two snipers. One of them happens to be the suppressor. Take out this guy first, and then we can target the guy at the back second. We can do a little bit of ad clear here, or we can focus on the chieftain in the middle, because this guy will cause us some trouble if we don't kill him. Now we can do a little bit of ad clear here if we do need to. Again, if things get a little crazy, you can just go back up top. I'm just taking out all these ads because when enemies die to the poison from my weapon, it reloads my weapon past normal capacity. So it just allows me to have some safety rounds in here if I need them. So let's push over here and grab the suppressor. Again, get ready to take out all of these enemies and watch out for the nades there. And we're going to take these guys out, hit the suppressor here. We'll take out a few more. And we're just going to tap the boss a little bit. So my weapon here actually doesn't reach the boss on that angle from here. So we're just going to use a couple of bullets that we have in our heavy here. Then we're going to rotate to the middle. Be careful that when you do shoot them, more enemies will spawn when you do hit the suppressor. So all those guys in the middle just spawned in. We can very quickly take care of them if we did want to, or we can just shoot the enemy and get on to the next section here. So we'll take out this mine here because it's right beside us. We can actually get an angle if you have a particular type of weapon. If you have a longer range weapon, you can get an angle from there to take out this mine, or from here if you have, you know, like a longer range weapon like what I was talking about. This particular weapon, I don't specifically need to aim it, so I can just shoot it from underneath. It does take a little longer, but it's safer. We got frozen. We can simply back up here out of the freeze and run to the safety of this barricade here. So I didn't completely take out the one in the middle. Let's grab this heavy ammo. I guess I should mention, just I haven't needed it, but just in case you guys do, if you're using your heavy a lot, like I probably should be, then you do have this this little crate here, which will replenish your heavy ammo and your special ammo as well. So make sure to take advantage of that if you do need it. So we're going to take out the last mine over here on the left-hand side. And to do the boss damage, we're going to go back to our safety spot on the far side. Now, the reason that we don't do it here is because the enemies can actually rush you here. And if you get distracted, they will slap you up pretty good, and they can kill you pretty easily if it's like in combination with a nade or something. So we're up top in this section here. And now we're just going to start doing damage to the boss. So, for your heavy, you might not want to use a machine gun like I am. The specific reason that I'm using it is just to level this weapon, because it is the new seasonal machine gun. It does have pretty good damage if you're up close, but from range, the recoil is a little bit annoying. But I'm just going to go ahead and spam it a bit here. Now, the enemies did spawn behind us over here, so we're going to get rid of these guys because they can hit us with some pretty sneaky nades. These guys in front and the guys on the far side, we're not too worried about. He came a lot closer now, so it's a lot easier for us to use our nades and stuff. Although I did hit the barricade there. Alright, so he is directly underneath us. So we're just going to do some damage here while he's here. If he goes fully underneath, then we're going to take out this chieftain behind us here. So we'll take out this tarnished chieftain. We will take out these guys as well, because they are very annoying. Take out the Tarnished Chieftain. Having something with void damage or a void super is very useful here. This is actually the perfect spot for him to be, because I can just spam him with my SMG here. Now for me, I can use the bubble to get some more damage and also an extra nade that I can use here. So I'll use my barricade to get my recharges back faster. And then we'll just spam him out here with my SMG. Now, you will notice that I was probably wasting the fact that I had this as my special. And running it again, I might swap it, because this is the first time that I've done it like completely controlled up here in this top section, which is by far the best way to kill this boss and to get through this encounter. First of all, without dying, so you can complete it on Legend. But second of all, without dying, so you can just complete it at all. So I would swap this out for something else, maybe something longer range. So thinking about it, I think I might actually swap it out for some kind of a sniper. And that way I can do, pretty good damage on the boss from long range, but it completely depends on what add clear weapon you are using and in what slot. So for me, my add clear weapon is the poison damage from this SMG. But if you were to use something like the Wither Horde for the add clear, so like when they all rush you, you can just put a Wither on the floor and they'll all just run into the Wither while they try to hit you. If you're doing that, then you obviously wouldn't use a sniper in this second slot here. You would use something like a scout rifle to go through and do the boss damage from a distance, and then you would swap back to your Wither for the add clear. And that's it. That's basically just the easiest way that I could find to do the boss. Obviously, the combination of weapons and super and subclass that you're using on your particular character, so Hunter, Titan, or Warlock, you can, adjust if you need to. But using that top platform up there provides you with way more safety than if you do it on this side. Because if the boss is right here and you're fighting the boss here, all of the enemies will run around to these stairs and run up the side here. So if you get distracted for a second, or you're trying to do a combo with your grenade, your melee, if it's a throwable, you're trying to get a lot of damage in with your heavy, then if you don't look to the right and shoot them as they come up here, then they will actually just come up behind you and destroy you. And also, when you're distracted over here trying to stop them from coming up, because at some points there will be a lot of enemies, then when you look back here, if you don't look back, you might get hit by a couple of those void nades, or get hit by the frozen from the boss and a void nade at the same time, which will basically mean that you will die.